Holly is a symbol of rebirth and has come to stand for peace and joy. In Austria, farmers chalk the initials of the three wise men on the archway of stable doors. During the Christmas season in Greece, the great log of Skark and Zelos burns for 12 days. The underwater mountain range Christmas Ridge is located about 120 miles off the coast of Tampa Bay. Every year, a 275-foot Christmas tree is erected to float in a lagoon in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In the Netherlands, children receive gifts from St. Nicholas on December 6th. Evergreen, holly, ivy, and mistletoe are important plants in the Yule celebration, which symbolizes everlasting life. Before being translated to English, O Come All Ye Faithful was entitled Hymn for Christmas Day in Latin. In Ireland, Little Christmas is celebrated on January 6th. Irving Berlin hated Elvis Presley's cover of White Christmas so much that he tried to prevent radio stations from playing it. Jingle Bells was originally called One Horse Open Sleigh. Norman Rockwell's painting, The Day After Christmas, was created in 1922. Charles Dickens' first public reading, A Christmas Carol, took 3 hours to finish. SantaCon is an annual event that started in San Francisco in 1994, in which a mob of Santas run amok through the city. Syrian kids receive gifts from a camel of one of three wise men, reportedly the smallest one in the caravan. The city of Snowflake is located in Arizona. Louis Prang is credited with popularizing the Christmas card in the United States. Since the 1970s, the Salvation Army Angel Tree Program has provided donated holiday gifts to local kids. In Puerto Rico, a musical church service known as a Mass of the Carols is held 9 days prior to Christmas Day. There are more than 500 recorded versions in many languages of White Christmas. Oregon harvests more Christmas trees than any other state in the U.S. In A Christmas Story, the pole in which Flick gets his tongue stuck had a device in it that sucks air. LED Christmas lights consume 90% less electricity than regular lights. 30% of consumers use credit cards as their primary method of purchasing Christmas gifts. The trunk of the Rockefeller Center tree is traditionally offered to the U.S. equestrian team to use for an obstacle. Christmas trees are useful in removing dust and pollen from the air. In Costa Rica, the Christmas flower is the orchid. In the Nordic countries, Christmas was known as Yule and celebrated December 21st, the winter solstice. In Costa Rica, tamales are traditionally served after midnight mass. In the movie Home Alone, the ugly photo of Buzz's girlfriend is actually a boy, the son of the film's art director. Nutcrackers are traditionally dressed as soldiers and kings. In France, people kiss under mistletoe during the New Year, not Christmas. In the 1994 comedy Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey plays a character named Lloyd Christmas. In Italy, La Befana, the kind witch, flies down chimneys on a broomstick to deliver toys on Epiphany Eve, the night of January 5th. During the holiday season, Lego sets sail a rate of about 28 per second. President Andrew Johnson granted total amnesty to all Southerners on Christmas Day in 1868. Frank Oz played the voice of Mrs. Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Animal in The Muppet Christmas Carol. In Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rudolph has antlers, even though only females keep theirs in the winter in real life. Santa wore a tan coat in the early American images, but his coat is eventually changed to red by Civil War cartoonist Thomas Nast. The tree lighting ceremony at the U.S. Capitol only became official in 1964. Every year, Norway gives a Christmas tree to Great Britain as thanks for their support during World War II. Today, about 30 to 35 million Christmas trees are produced every year. Alabama was the first state to declare Christmas as a legal holiday in 1836. Santa Claus was generally depicted as an elf until 1931, when Coca-Cola ads portrayed him as human size. Christmas trees are grown in all 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska. The U.S. Postal Service issued its first Christmas stamp in 1962. In Ireland, the youngest member of the family lights the Christmas candle. Swan was the traditional Christmas dish for the wealthy in Victorian England. Beyoncé's charity, the Survivor Foundation, hosts an annual Music World Cares holiday carnival for victims of Hurricane Katrina. Bing Crosby's White Christmas is the best-selling Christmas single of all time and was once the best-selling single of all time. In 1906, the Shop Early campaign aimed to ease the strain of the last-minute holiday shopping on the retail industry. The top Christmas tree producing states are Oregon, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and California. During the Christmas truce of 1914, soldiers fighting World War I ceased fire in honor of Christmas. Mistletoe has been held sacred by the Norse, the Celtic Druids, and the North American Indians. In Germany, the mother is the family member who trims the Christmas tree. Stuffing and gravy go bad more quickly than other holiday foods. They only last 2 days in the fridge. On Christmas Day, some kids consume up to 6,000 calories of food and candy. Edible white pine tree needles are a good source of vitamin C. President Calvin Coolidge introduced the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony in 1923. St. Francis of Assisi created the first living nativity in 1224 to help explain the birth of Jesus to his followers. In ancient times, it was forbidden to fight in the presence of mistletoe. 2,500 pounds of snow fall on the great stage during the run of the Radio City Christmas Spectacular. General George Washington led troops in a secret crossing of the Delaware River on December 25, 1776. Charles Dickens' 1843 story, A Christmas Carol, has been filmed over 200 times. Crayola crayons come in 120 different colors, but labels are only made in 18. The rush for Christmas shopping began during World War II, when it was necessary to mail gifts early to troops overseas. More than 1.76 billion candy canes are made during the Christmas season. For every Christmas tree cut down, roughly 3 are planted. In Brazil, Papa Noel is the gift bringer. In Brazil, the children make breakfast for their parents on Christmas Day. A gingerbread-like treat is exported from Nuremberg, Germany, all around the world specifically for Christmas. The weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas are the biggest retail sales weeks of the year. When the screenplay for Elf first emerged in 1993, Jim Carrey was cast as in the lead role instead of Will Ferrell. Mistletoe hanging in the doorway or ceiling is said to be a sign of goodwill and harmony. It's a tradition in Sweden for the oldest daughter to dress in white and wake her parents by singing Santa Lucia. The poinsettia was brought to the U.S. from Mexico by Dr. Joel Poinsett. LED Christmas lights have a lifespan of 100,000 hours. Each acre of land used to grow Christmas trees provides the daily oxygen requirements of 18 people. All Christmas trees in Greenland have to be imported since trees can't live that far north on the globe. Franklin Pierce was said to be the first president to have a Christmas tree in the White House. The German word Christkindl, which means Christ child, eventually turned into Kris Kringle. The Nutcracker Ballet premiered in December 1892 at the Mariinsky Theater. In Finland, Santa is called Jalupki. Dun Shi Lea Ren, which means Christmas Old Man, is the Chinese version of Santa Claus. The Rockefeller Center's Christmas tree dates back to 1931, when workers set up a small, unadorned tree at the construction site. Christmas tree angels were introduced in the 1850s. In olden times, unmarried English women would eat gingerbread husbands to give themselves luck in the love department. Male reindeer shed their antlers around Christmas time. Americans spend close to $8 billion on Christmas decorations annually. In Mexico, the poinsettia is known as the flower of the night. Norwegian children leave porch for Nisses, the Christmas buck. About 350,000 acres of land are used for growing Christmas trees in the U.S. The largest Christmas angel ornament stood 5.57 meters tall and was made of 2,946 beer bottles. Statistics show that avid shoppers will be elbowed at least 3 times this season. Christmas dinner typically contains over 7,000 calories. The Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, Illinois features Christmas trees from around the world. In 1946 classic It's a Wonderful Life appears on TV more often than any other holiday movie. In the Middle Ages, the Christmas celebration was more of a rowdy party. There is a replica of Santa's Village located to visitors, located outside of Rovaniemi, Finland.